Australia and Portugal prepared to take the field at 10 to 10 in the morning here local time. They played each other on 4 previous occasions, and Australia have won all 4 matches, but you never know. This year Australia field no less than 11 debutants in their side, so for the first time ever probably Portugal have an advantage. That's the Australian side led by Tim Atkinson. He is the only player in this Australian side with previous IRB Sevens experience, but he's got some exciting players in Brett Stapleton, who starred here in Dubai for the world champion under-19 side 6 months ago. So he has experience of playing here in Dubai in front of a capacity crowd. Well, familiar names in the Portugal side, led by Antonio de Aguiar. He is their top try scorer, wearing 6. Pedro Leal is a former Breve player, and David Matius also has plenty of sevens experience. The referee is Mr. Andrew McPherson from Scotland, and he took charge of that under-19 final here in Dubai back in April. So he'll be familiar with the heat. It's not too humid here. Very early in the morning on the first day of the IRB World Series Sevens in Dubai. First possession then to Portugal. It's a bit untidy, knocked on by Australia. And Willie, just a quick word about the Australians. There's been a dispute, of course, between the players and the union back in Australia, hence the reason for 11 debutants in this Australian side.
One thing about Australia is that they do have quality rugby players coming through the grades. A lot of inexperience at this level, but no doubt these young men will be wanting to try and stamp their authority and hopefully continue right throughout the year in this magnificent tournament.
Australia win turnover ball. Let's see what they can do with it. Neat little kick and chase from there. Number 12, Brett Stapleton, tremendous pace. David Dillon wears 7. But again, they've coughed up possession. An opportunity here then for Portugal and for Federico de Sousa. Looks to cut back inside. That's a big hit. De Sousa, scrum half, David Matius, who also has a brother, Diogo, who plays occasionally for the Portuguese side. An opportunity here with men over. Antonio de Aguiar, he knows where the try line is, looking to turn his man inside out, but he wasn't fooling Tim Atkinson at all. It's still beyond though, so an opportunity gone begging there for Portugal.
Well, so much confidence shown by the Portuguese team in the red jerseys. Lovely change of angles, and this is a team that is running high on confidence. They have qualified for next year's Rugby World Cup in the 15-a-side team. And their coach, Tomas Morias, has been training these guys for quite some time.
Tim Atkinson gets it away to David Dillon. Out on the far right, it's Nick Cummins, the 19-year-old from the Randwick club, plays centre at 15s. Being penalised by Mr. McPherson for not releasing the ball. Quickly taken by João Mira, but he'll have to come back to the mark. So still waiting for our first score in this match. We've had some just over 2 minutes of play. 7 minutes each way in the preliminary rounds, and up into the final 10 minutes each way, of course. And show and go from Antonio de Aguilar. The Australians were having none of it. It's a bit untidy. Advantage being played to Portugal. Again, they've got men on the wide outside. That's Aderito Esteves. This is his sixth tournament rather. Tiago Girao, Lisbon University flank forward, but it's stolen by Australia again. And David Dillon. Nothing to choose between these two teams in the opening minutes. Looking to create space for the man on the wide outside. Well-drilled Australian side, coached by Glenn Eller, of course. Nick Cummins at number 11, going through a lot of work in this opening half. João Mira from the Belenenses club. Tiago Girao. Now then, can he open up the Australian defence? Good tackling again from the captain Atkinson, but the ball is still there for Portugal. Not quite keeping their line at the moment. Esteves. Thomas Moraes expecting big things of Esteves when he broke onto the international scene last season. Big James Campbell, the farmer from the Coonamble Rams.
Well, in that passage of play, some lovely skills shown, but the inexperience coming to the fore in the opening 3 minutes of the match, and that being the fact that the Australians are getting into the contact area. Sevens is all about using the skills, using the width, trying to create space.
There's Glenn Eller, the Australian coach. Kick through by João Mira. Back it comes from David Dillon, the kick and the chase. But Aguiar, the Portuguese captain, is back there in defence. Oh, good pressure being applied by the Australians here. Should get possession. It's there. Now then, man over here. Could we have the first points of this match? Stapleton is in. Or is he? Yes, he is. And the touch judge in the in-goal area has confirmed that a try can be allowed. Touch judges in the in-goal area in sevens, as well as out on the flanks. So the first try then in Dubai for Stapleton and for Australia.
Well, they just had too many numbers out to the right. Good transfer of the pass from James Liu. And Stapleton did the rest in the tackle of Esteves. But that all came from the grubber kick through, or the chip kick through by David Dillon earlier.
Conversion is missed, so the score remains at 5 points to 0 in Australia's favour. Just the one try this opening period, and that goes to Brett Stapleton.
You'd have to suggest that on day one, the first 2 games, there's probably going to be a bit of rust. A lot of these guys have just got together. This is the start of their campaign over the next 8 months with the 8 tournaments, and they definitely will get better as the tournament progresses.
Fiji and Kenya go through, also compete in this group, and you would expect Fiji to go through on their performance in the first match against Kenya, but it's open. It's an open pool after that. Australia, Portugal and Kenya. The top 2 go through to the quarterfinals. Antonio de Aguiar sets it up. And of course, points are all important in the pool rounds. They will determine who progresses and who doesn't. Aguiar, good, strong runner. David Mateusz, isolated. Atkinson just about gets the tackle in. But the Portuguese, well, they need to support their runners, because there was definitely an opportunity there for David Mateusz.
He's the prop and the hooker in the 7-a-side game. Big and strong.
Crouch and hold. Engage. Out.
Good pressure being applied by Portugal in the scrum. Knocked forward, and that's the last piece of action of the first half. Just the one try. Brett Stapleton taking full advantage then, and Australia, well, they lead by the solitary 5 points. Australia 5, Portugal 0 at half-time.
Let's hold the ball. Let's hold on to the ball for a period of time, mate. I tried these chip and chases, but do it when they're later on in the half. So you need to hold the ball.
That's the Australian record in IRB sevens.
Try to avoid a bit of contact. They're going into contact unnecessarily.
Been disappointing of late, although they got to the semi-finals in Paris. They were defeated by Samoa. 22 points to 7. They lost here in the quarterfinals in Dubai last year to South Africa, and were placed 8th on the IRB circuit. Reigning FIRA European Sevens champions, Portugal, and now they're one of the 12 core teams in IRB Sevens, and that's a tremendous achievement for the Portuguese, for the Wolves of Portugal. They've already qualified, the national side that is, for the Rugby World Cup in France in 2007. And all that effort is primarily down to one man, and that's the sevens coach and the national coach as well, Tomás Moraes. Tremendous support for the teams here on the opening day of the new season. Bright sunshine, although rain is forecast. Let's take full advantage of the sun while this year. Distinct Dubai skyline in the background as Australia then look to add to that solitary first half try. The ball doesn't travel the mandatory 10 meters, so it's advantage Portugal at the top of the second half.
On the 10. Here we are.
Well, I'm so sure that the message from the Portuguese coach Tomás Moraes is do exactly that. Get over the advantage line, look for the gaps.
Here they come. Aguiar with a pass to Leal to Esteves. Now then, can he get in? Yes, grounded. So that's a confident start to the second half. Whatever Tomás Moraes told his men at half-time, it certainly seems to have worked. His 7th try in his IRB sevens career.
Well, the Australians have only got themselves to blame, not finding the 10 metres from the kickoff. Great work by the Portuguese, one way then the other. And then out to Esteves, he did the rest. And maybe that message given by Moraes, the IRB coach of the year in 2004, is just the tonic they asked for.
A kick to take the lead. Now he pulled it to the left. Pedro Leal from the Direito club, so it's even Stevens in this second Pool A match. Australia 5, Portugal now 5 points. So Australia need to be on their guard. Beautiful hanging kick from the restart. It says Campbell, 26-year-old. David Dillon. Portuguese looking to crowd him out, taken up this time by James Liu. Out on the flank again is Stapleton, such a devastating runner. We saw his talents on the Rugby World Cup under-19 stage here a couple of months ago, but it's possession for Portugal. They've got men on the left if they can work the ball out. Esteves being asked once again to do the duties for Portugal, brushing aside the tackle of Campbell, but not being able to get past the last line of defence. That was captain Tim Atkinson. Oh, excellent work by Pedro Leal. It's a second try for Portugal in as many minutes. And that's been greeted with huge applause in the grandstand, always favouring the underdogs here in Dubai.
Oh, this is why you love the game of sevens, because it doesn't matter the size of the body and the shape. If you've got the skills, and he would be one of the smallest men on the field, all because of the work of here, Esteves. Have a look at this, the gas, the acceleration, and then this is what I like the most. He places the ball back right there to make sure the possession is kept, and the little pop down the blind side, they nickname him Popcorn. I'll tell you what, it might be champagne after this.
No hurry whatsoever to dot the ball down, so the conversion is good. Australia 5, Portugal 12, and Australia have it all to do here.
Back.
Federico de Sousa, the most experienced player in this Portuguese side, wearing 2, takes it in. Again, Portugal in the hunt, looking for another quick try, which could well seal the match. We have some 3.5 minutes remaining. Penalty, Portugal, de Sousa. Quickly taken out to Tiago Girao, the big man. Within 5 meters, then Esteves sweeps it out to Aguiar, to Pedro Leal. Pressure being applied there by Tim Cornforth. Australian number 9. Again, there are 4 men out on the wide. Esteves. Poor play. Portugal have never beaten Australia in an IRB sevens tournament. It'll be a huge moment for the Wolves if they could manage it here in Dubai. What a better stage to impress. Leal, David Mateus, Leal once again, he's got Aguiar. The pass doesn't go to hand.
Well, this would be groundbreaking, certainly history in the making. If Portugal can hold on, there's the Portuguese coach, voted IRB Coach of the Year in 2004, Thomas Moris.
Yes, he's in charge of the national side, the Sevens side, the under-19s, under-21s. He's a college lecturer. He is Mr. Rugby in Portugal. Just about gathered safely out to Nathan Trist. Australia need a score. Good tackling, good defensive work by the Portuguese, by Adelito Esteves. Saved a certain try.
Well, talking to the management, the Portuguese management earlier this week, they say that he is the best young player that they've got. Enormous potential. And really, kids watching at home, if you saw that, that was copybook. He showed him the outside and then drove the shoulder into the leg of the opponent, making sure that Trist wasn't going to get through to score that crucial try that Australia want.
Gonçalo Foro is the Portuguese replacement. There are 5 on the bench. You can select any 3 of those 5. Oh, Portuguese looking confident now. You feel that one more score could well do it with just over a minute remaining of this Pool A match. Australia desperately needing a score now to get back on level terms. Taken in by Nick Cummins. It's there on a plate for James Liu. Back on the blind side again, Australia to looking to use their strength. And they'll get a penalty. They trail by a converted try. Atkinson needs to draw on all his experience here. The captain looking for the breakthrough. Well, it could be a kind, yes, a pass run out to Nathan Trist, and it's a second try for Australia, but they do need the conversion here to bring them back on level terms with just over half a minute remaining.
Well, the young 23-year-old from the Sydney University, I think this is where experience is counted against them. Lovely finishing in the try, but he needed to try and get closer, because if this is not converted, Portugal will win the match. With only 20 seconds remaining, he needs to convert this for the draw.
Good attempt from David Dillon, but he's pushed it wide on the far upright. So we're within 10 seconds of a historic win here for Portugal. Australia 10, Portugal 12. Glenn Ellen, well, what he doesn't know about Sevens rugby is not worth knowing. As Andrew McPherson then blows the whistle to bring the match to a close. And look at the smiles all round on the faces of the Portuguese. Thomas Morais and manager Chico Alvarez. Wow, what a moment. They celebrated